Hello, welcome to another lesson. In this lesson, we'll be considering social engineering, and this means that we are going to be examining one of the most powerful attack methods in cybersecurity. Social engineering focuses on manipulating people rather than exploiting code or systems. So let's get right into it to learn more about this. What's the importance of social engineering? Social engineering is important because humans are often the weakest link in security. Technical controls can be strong, but people can be deceived. Many major breaches begin with simple deception. Attackers exploit trust, fear, urgency, and curiosity, and one successful manipulation can bypass strong defenses. And these are the reasons why social engineering matters. What is social engineering? Social engineering is like a psychological manipulation. It tricks individuals into revealing sensitive information. It bypasses technical controls entirely. It targets human behavior instead of software flaws. And it relies on persuasion rather than hacking tools. Now, why does it work? Because it has been in existence for so long, and this still works even in our world of today. It works because human behavior is predictable. How? People tend to trust authority figures, that is, people above them, people they listen to, or maybe people they submit to at their place of work or in a particular organization. Secondly, people respond quickly to urgent requests. Thirdly, people want to be helpful. And lastly, people fear consequences or punishment. And these are some of the reasons why social engineering still works, even till today. What are the common social engineering attacks? There are several common techniques such as phishing emails, pretexting scenarios, baiting tactics, and tailgating physical access. Let's start with pretexting. Pretexting uses believable stories. It happens this way. An attacker would create a fake scenario, then after that they pretend to be someone trusted, then they request sensitive information, and while they are doing all of this, they are selling a very believable story to deceive the person or the victim. So the success of the attack depends on how credible their story is or how believable the story is. Let's now consider baiting. Baiting leverages curiosity. It happens this way. Attackers offer something attractive. Examples could be free downloads or infected USBs. Then curiosity triggers the user action because the user wants to know what exactly is happening here. If I do this, what would happen? And after the curiosity has made the person or the victim do what he or she is supposed not to do, malware will be delivered indirectly. Next, we have tailgating. Tailgating targets physical security, and it happens this way. An attacker follows someone into a restricted area, for instance, a bank. If you get to some banks, you're going to see some notice maybe on some doors or some indicators around stating that this particular place is out of bound for non-staff or is out of bound for customers. So if somebody is trying to access such a region within a particular organization, for instance, now a bank, that is a physical security breach, and some people do that or gain access into those restricted area through tailgating. So after an attacker follows someone into that restricted area, they then exploit politeness or social pressure. And for this, no technical hacking is required. What is required is just the physical access, which often leads to deeper compromise. So once they gain access to those areas, they can try to do some other things that they have in mind that might be harmful to the organization. Next, we'll consider spear phishing. Spear phishing is highly targeted because it uses personal information about the victim, and when they are doing this, the messages appear legitimate and relevant. Also, it increases credibility. Some people find it to be something credible, and it is more difficult to detect than generic phishing because you are targeting some specific people. Let's now consider social engineering and remote work. Remote environments increase risk when it comes to social engineering. Why? Because more communication happens digitally. Face-to-face verification is reduced or physical interaction is reduced, so everybody is communicating with themselves online. Also, impersonation becomes easier because we are communicating digitally. Impersonation can be inevitable. And lastly, the attack surface expands significantly because we are not seeing each other. For instance, if something happened, if we are meeting physically, we can quickly ask each other or reach out to each other to know who exactly is doing what. But if we are online, we can easily trust whatsoever information we are received from anybody. And That might be impersonation coming with a social engineering attack. So we need to be very careful of this. So to prevent social engineering, what are the red flags to watch out for? The first one is unexpected urgent requests. You are not expecting a request and then it is coming urgently and they want you to respond to it urgently. You should be careful of such. In fact, you should think twice before you do anything to that request. The second one is request for credentials or sensitive data. When someone is requesting for credentials or sensitive data to a particular system, application, or to gain access to a device, then you should think twice too. The next one is unusual payment instructions. This one is something to watch out for too. And lastly, suspicious links or attachments. It is not every links or every attachment that are embedded inside emails or inside messages sent to you that you should click. So you need to be careful of such. Next, let's consider how we can defend against social engineering. Defense requires both tools and behavior when it comes to social engineering. And here are a few ways to which we can defend ourselves. The first one is user awareness training. You should train users, whether customers or staff, train them. Another one is clear verification procedures. There should be a verification procedure that is very clear, not ambiguous. The next one is multi-factor authentication. This is important as well. And lastly, there should be a defined reporting channels for suspicious activity. When an activity is suspicious, then there should be a clear way or a defined reporting channels to report this suspicious activity. Let's now consider social engineering and the CIA triad. Human manipulation can affect the three core pillars or security principles in cybersecurity. You can ask me how. Yeah, confidentiality can be breached through deception, integrity can be compromised through manipulated actions, availability can be affected when attacks deploy ransomware, and human factors impact all of the three. So when social engineering happens, it can impact all of these three core security principles or core pillars of cybersecurity. So what are the common mistakes people make that lead to social engineering attacks? The first one is overtrusting internal communication. Not every communication that looks as though it's coming internally should be trusted. You should always confirm and double check before you act on them. The second one is ignoring unusual behavior. When you know that a behavior is unusual, then you should think about it twice. In fact, you can report it so that you can know what exactly is going on there. The next one is lack of user training. When users are not trained, they don't know what to do. Hence, that can lead to users divulging or giving out information they shouldn't give out during a social engineering attack. And lastly, no formal verification processes. When there are no formal verification processes, things can be very difficult to track and managed. Now, what have we learned so far in this lesson? So in this lesson, we have seen that people are often the primary target. We've seen that social engineering weaponizes psychology. We've seen that awareness reduces vulnerability and verification prevents costly mistakes. Let's take a test together. Here is the question. What is the primary method used in social engineering attacks? Here are the options. So pause your video, read through the options, pick your answer and drop in the comments, then come back here to play the video. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is B, which is psychological manipulation. That's all for this lesson. If you're yet to subscribe to our channel, please do that now. Also, do not forget to like, share, and comment. Thank you so much and see you in the next lesson.